everyone, my name is Judy. Today I'm happy to share with you a very easy recipe for you to prepare for your loved ones and your friends. It's called the potato gratin. Basically, it's a dish consisting of baked potatoes and cream, and you can sprinkle some mushrooms or chopped ham in it, and it makes a very nice one dish meal if served with a salad by the side. Now, let me first introduce the ingredients. Since it's called a potato gratin, obviously the main ingredient, you have to have some potatoes. I highly recommend the russet potato because russet potatoes have got very low moisture content and higher starch content. That makes it an excellent potato to bake because you can put in the cream, the butter or the milk, and this potato will be able to absorb the dairy products that you introduce into the baking dish. And what I'm going to do first is to remove the skin. Of course, you can use a peeler to remove the skin, and then I'm going to slice it into thin slices. Okay, so just get it's very important when you slice the potatoes to get it evenly thin so that it will bake evenly. Okay, so just simply cut. If you don't want to cut with a knife, you can also get one of those vegetable shredders where you just kind of take the potato and just slide it across, and then they come into thin slices. Otherwise, okay, if you can slice thinly like this, that will, okay, just let's say about 2 mm in thickness. Importantly is to make it thinly so that it's easier to cook, and that you will cook very evenly. Okay, so there we have the potatoes. Don't leave the potatoes for too long outside because it might oxidize. So I've got already some potatoes in here, alright. So remember, get hold of russet potatoes because these are more suitable for baking, and because of its low moisture content, it absorbs. And all you need to do for this dish is to add some milk. Okay, I'm using Anchor milk. This milk comes from cows that are grass fed, and that's why you see that the milk has got a slight creamy, very light, kind of very pleasant looking color. Okay, and also I use the cream. Notice that this cream is whipping cream. Actually, this cream can be used for cooking as well as for whipping it up for desserts and cakes and all the other stuff. So over here, I put in the cream. Alright, that's been already pre-weighed. And what you need to do is to get hold of some black pepper. So now it all depends. If you want to have a spicy one, you can put more black pepper. Okay, here I add about a half teaspoon, and some salt. Okay, you can also add about half a teaspoon of salt over here. And to give it a little bit more flavor, you could add some chicken powder, also about half a teaspoon. Okay, if you want a stronger taste, more salty, is absolutely, it's all up to you. Okay, so that's all I have in here. And the next thing you need to do is to cook this mixture over the fire. You sort of cook the potatoes until it's about half cooked. Okay, while the sides, when you keep stirring it, okay, just leave it there for a while. If you are busy, just leave it there, but don't leave it for too long because very quickly you will see that the potatoes, you will start to see a little bit of steam. Usually that is the time when you really have to watch out. Okay, so all you have to do is to put some Anchor milk and dairy cream, and then we put all this. Now, there's something very comforting about eating this dish. My husband loves potatoes, and such a dish, anything to do with potatoes always keeps him happy. Okay, so here we have some other ideas. You can also use some herbs, you know, some chopped herbs, fresh herbs you put into here to cook it together for more flavor. It's really up to you. So this is a dish which is very versatile, and you can make this dish ahead of time, keep it refrigerated for several days, and then take it out to warm it up in the microwave, or just cover with aluminium foil, bake it in the oven. You know, so it's a great dish for a party. And certainly a great dish to bring to a barbecue. Sometimes, you know, you go for a barbecue, especially when the barbecue is in the night. Okay, you can hardly see the food. It's also dim, and people have to wait for the barbecue meat to be ready. And people get hungry. This is a dish you can prepare at home, bake it, and while it's hot, you know, just bring it to the barbecue so everyone can dig into this dish, satisfy their hunger first before the barbecue meat is ready. So this is a very good dish. So alright, now I like to use a heavy saucepan, because when it's heavy saucepan it doesn't get burnt easily. So that is a good investment in when you buy, for example, your cooking ware. Okay. Now the milk and the cream, once open, should of course be refrigerated. Now while I'm waiting for this milk and the cream to cook, I've got the baking dish. It's good to use a bakeable ware, or if you cannot get hold of this, you can also use aluminium containers, those disposable aluminium containers. But if you are like me, you try to avoid, you know, having more contributing to the waste. There's already, you know, a problem on earth. Is you might want to get one of these bakeable glassware. Here I have one which is bakeable, and it does have a lid, so once it's actually baked already, I can put on the lid and then bring it, and it's microwavable. So that makes a very convenient container to bake and to serve it in. So you only wash one container, so that's excellent. Okay, all right, now these are the signs. You will start to see a little bit of steam. You can see some steam. Usually that's about it. Okay, and you can see it starts to simmer a little bit. So when you see it simmering like that, it's always good to just give it a stir first. Okay, so that it doesn't, so let it just simmer for a while, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. If you really want to check whether it's half cooked, just use a knife and sort of, you know, press it in. If it sort of cuts it in, then it's okay. All right. Now, so that's it. I'm going to sort of grease my container a little bit. This is butter. Okay. All right. So you can use the Anchor butter again. The butter comes from grass-fed cows, so it has a beautiful yellow golden color. There's chlorophyll in the grass. Okay, so that helps to give it a sort of shade in the butter. Okay, so you just grease it a little bit like this. Okay, just grease aside to prevent it from to make it easier when you remove it from the container when you are serving your guests. Okay, so once it's done like this, we pour everything into this dish, and the black pepper gives it a beautiful flavor. Try to push it down like this, so I've got all the potatoes in. So you really want to have the cream just covering the potatoes, and if you like, okay, for example, I love cheese. Anchor has got some cheese as well. You can use mozzarella cheese, the sort of cheese that people use on pizzas, and also you can have a piece of ham. So you know, okay, you can cut it into strips if you like, and just chop it up a little bit. Okay, this I'm going to sprinkle over the mozzarella cheese. Now, mozzarella cheese, if you buy a pack of it, it should always be kept frozen for longer shelf life. So I'm going to remove my mozzarella cheese. As I said, I love cheese. So in our school and at our cafe, we actually use a lot of mozzarella cheese. And this is the extra stretch cheese, which is actually very good if you are using it for pizzas, for example. Okay, so this is if you want the golden brown, just sprinkle cheese. Okay, I love cheese, so I'm quite generous with the sprinkling, huh? Now don't worry too much about the calories. In life, it's always better to be fat and happy than to be sour and slim. So don't worry, just eat on. And anyway, this is an excellent source of calcium. So you can sprinkle some ham, chopped ham, like this. Okay, so from here, I'm going to bake in my oven. It's already been preheated. Now, this is of course a commercial oven. It's a deck oven. If you don't have a deck oven, obviously in a home, unless you're running a business, you can use your home oven's preheat to about 180 degrees, top heat and bottom heat. Okay, so here I've got top heat 180. If it's a home oven, remember to preheat your oven for at least about 20 minutes. Preheat for 180 degrees, top heat, bottom heat, before you slide your dish that you have just prepared into the oven, and bake till it's golden brown. Alright, so okay, so I've got some. Now, something about the mozzarella cheese. Now, this comes in a pack that is really a value for money. So if you eat a lot of pizzas or you do seafood baked rice, do consider getting this. Once you have it, you can always divide it. Okay, like for this dish, you need about 200 grams of the mozzarella cheese. You can divide the mozzarella cheese into Ziploc bags, and then put into small Ziploc bags, Ziploc it, and then put in the freezer. So every time when you need mozzarella cheese, you can remove a pack from the freezer, and it will thaw very quickly, because if you notice, the mozzarella cheese has already been shredded for you, so that makes it really easy. Okay, so this is alright, and you can see, okay, made in New Zealand, alright, where the cows roam freely and are happy eating grass. Okay, so you can see we've got some happy cheese, and alright, so all mozzarella cheese, if you want to keep it for a longer shelf life, keep it and store it in the freezer. So I'm going to just put this aside first. Later on, after this session, I will put it into the freezer. But in the meantime, I'm going to take out some one that I have already pre-baked. Okay, now this one, when I baked it, was without the ham. So now I just sprinkle some chopped ham. Of course, you can put some just for a look. I'm going to cut a slice and serve it on the plate with a simple salad by the side. Okay, so this is one of those comfort foods which you can prepare for a party, and it looks nice, and you only bake in one dish, serve in the same dish, and only wash one container. All right, so okay. All right, so swing. I'm gonna get some vegetables for color, for fiber, to make it a little bit more balanced. Some salad. And have a drizzle of vinaigrette or olive oil if you wish. You can also serve it with some chopped pineapples and all that. Okay. Okay, and alright. Now, once the dish is ready, is baked till golden brown. Sometimes if you find that the top doesn't brown so quickly, you can always bring up the dish. Be careful to wear, of course, the oven mittens. Don't hold it by hand when it's hot. Make sure it's closer to the top so that it will be golden brown a little bit faster. Okay, so once it's done, what I'm going to do is to just slice like this. You can make a few cuts. And you can use your this is an offset spatula. It's very useful to have. I'm going to cut this further into a rectangle. See all the nice creamy goodness. And chop some ham. Okay. You can even layer the piece in between. You can sprinkle some mushrooms or braised mushroom, and then it's ready to serve. So really, this is a very simple dish which you can prepare. Just simply heat up the cream, anchor cream and milk together with the potatoes. Pop it into, cook it in a saucepan for a short while. Put it into the oven, and you can serve immediately. Or when it cools down, just cover with a cling wrap or the lid, and then pop it in the microwave when you need it. So it's a very simple dish. Enjoy!